doing everything. There is no way you can be good. Even yesterday, one of them came to me, and I tried to explain to him that, listen, these illustrations are not good enough. You know the kind of drawing, this triangle drawing of a human being. And he said, no, the children are going to read these books. The books are not for adults. And I began to wonder. I told him, I said, listen, when you write children's books, you need to take note of some things. Number one, there are some things that are not really meant for the children. One of them is the blurb.
Sure.
The blurb about the book that we have at the end of the on the back cover.
Yes.
That one is not written. You don't write that one for the kids who will be reading the book. You are writing that one for the parents who will buy the books. And I told him, the illustrations you are talking about, don't forget that when a parent goes to buy the book, he will flip through the thing. And when he sees a kind of triangular human being, he might not be so moved to buy the books. You just say, what is he going to write? So the fact that the book is meant for children doesn't mean that you just do anything, the way you like. No. So I let him realize this, that no, listen, this is wrong. And once again, let me go back to where I started from. The reason is they want to maximize profits. They do everything. This is wrong. And why do they do this? Because whether you believe it or not, self-publishing has many, many advantages. Our sister talked about editing. If you write your own story, you edit your own book, you don't pay anything for the editing. So they save money there. If you market your work by yourself, you don't pay any marketer. So the profit is 100%. 100%. If an established publishing house should publish you, they won't give you more than 10%. In fact, that's the usual percentage. 10%. That's the usual percentage.
You self-publishing?
No. If a company like Evans or UPS should publish you, you don't collect more than 10%. But if you self-publish, the profit is 100%. So that encourages many of them that, no, let me do this by myself. But I want to tell you this again. If you want to write, everybody can write something, but not everybody can write something great. Not everybody can write something great. And if you are in this profession, you want to be a writer, why not go all the way? Why not go all the way? But when we get to the last one, which is okay, maybe I should mention this one here now. If you take your book to an established publishing house like UPL, like Evans, like whatever, it has many advantages. Number one, of course, I already told you, you won't be given more than 10%, but then it may be worth it. Number one, they are going to do the editing of your work. Not only that, we've learned about the advantages of editing. Many times when you write, I don't know whether you are like me. Even if I write a letter of just 1 page, by the time you go through the thing again, if you go through it 10 times, you may not be able to notice that A article that you missed. When someone else looks at the thing, it will just jump out. And you begin to wonder, you begin to wonder, I've published books that I edited, everything, I gave it to somebody to edit for me, and at the end of the day, we still discover mistakes there. You cannot imagine a situation where you don't even give it to any editor. I mean, so we need the service of an editor. Somebody says an editor is the best friend, or let me put it this way, a good editor is the best friend of a writer. A good editor is the best friend of a writer. Somebody was asking about the impact of an editor. There are many things, like when you talk about religious bias. When you are religious biased, that may affect you negatively. It may impact on the marketing of the book. When you see a particular religion in a negative way, it is the duty of the editor to look at this and point it out. No, you shouldn't talk about a religion like this. This is one of the reasons why you need an editor. An editor is very, very important. Now, so somebody who is self-publishing, because he wants to get 100% profits, he bypasses the editor, he bypasses all these and the illustrators, he bypasses the designers and all that. He does everything by himself. I'll tell you, one of the dangers there is your work may be full of mistakes because you have not given it to a professional editor. Another thing is, this established publishing houses, after the in-house editors have looked at the work, have edited the work, they now give the work to an assessor. For instance, now let me say this here. If you are writing, maybe you self-publish. Please do this. I do it. When I write children's story, I have my they are two now, great cousins, who are my first readers. One is 10 years, the other one is 9. When I give the things to them, I want you to read this. After reading it, I will now ask her, Eboluwa, between this one and the one you read last, which one do you prefer? I'll say, no, the last one. I'll say, why? And she will tell me, kids, they are so plain, and they can, through them, you'll be able to see the weakness of what you have written. She will tell me, I like this one because there are actions here. That one is just talking and talking. You won't agree with her, you won't say she was wrong, but later you now see that, wow. Then you go back and you reach the thing all over again. Because when you write a storybook and it is just discussing, talking and talking, children don't have the patience for this. They want actions. If it's just, mommy, I want to go. Why? I need money. Why? I'm hungry. Why? I mean, they don't have patience for that. They want actions. So when you have written your work and you have given it to, you give it to an established publishing house, after the in-house editors have gone through it, they invite somebody from a school. Normally we use, when I was with a company, we use teachers of secondary schools or primary schools, as the case may be. The teacher would now make the assessment report. Most of the time, they will talk about the use of language. Somebody may just come up and say, wow, this language is too high for a primary two pupil. So we tone down the language. These are things that even the in-house editors might have missed. So you give it to, you are writing for upper primary school. Why can't you give the work to one of the pupils, or two, even three? Hear their assessments about the story, or whatever you have written. Give it to the teachers. They will be able to tell you some things that you say, it should be like your eyes are suddenly open. To tell me, illustration you down. Let me change it. So in other words, I'm trying to explain that when you give your work to established publishers like this, publishing houses like this, it has many advantages. Maybe the greatest advantage actually concerns marketing. Because if you are self-publishing, that is the first challenge you have there. Marketing your work. Marketing your work. When I was with an established company, when I was working with them, I think you read it out anyway, so I can mention it. When I was working with Evans, Evans took, I think, one or two marketers to court, because you understand now, they just did some things to sideline the profits of the company. The point I'm trying to make is this: if they can do something like this to a company like Evans, UPL, and some others, you are an independent publisher, and you think they won't do it to you? Don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. They can do it. Another thing is coverage. Many of these established companies, they have sales representatives in Kaduna, Imo State, Oyo State, Lagos State. As a single person, where can you reach? How many places can you reach? But when they publish you on royalty, you don't have any worry about how to market your work, how your work can be read in Kaduna State. It's not your concern. You just go home and sleep and wait for the end of the year to collect the royalty. So when it comes to marketing, you might want to think twice about self-publishing. You might, because how many places will you be able to reach? And let me give you an experience. I have marketers. One of them is here now. I have marketers, but there are some schools around my house, within a stone's throw. Now, I now started to think that, okay, why should I ask my marketer, who is maybe here around Dubai, to come to Akobo to market my book to a school that is just behind my house? Let me save some money. So I started to go to schools around that are not far from my house. I went to one some months ago. I gave her my books for promotion. She said, okay. I said, when do you want me to come back? Come back the day after tomorrow. I will have gone through the story books. Okay. When I went back, Mr. Ogunlana, I'm very sorry. I've been busy. Please come next week. So the next week came. I went. I have not been able to lead the thing. The school has been busy. Okay, when should I come again? Let's make it 2 weeks time. At least I'm sure. I didn't go at the end of 2 weeks. I went after a month. When I got there, after 2 months, you know, she didn't even apologize. She didn't. That was what really annoyed me. She didn't even say I'm sorry. It's just like what's the big deal? Please stay. So when you talk about marketers, that is the pain of not even only publishing business, of any business you can think about. And if that issue, the issue of marketing problem is no more there, as with the established publishing house, you may want to think twice before you before you fall in love with self-publishing. Now, let me go to the last one. Okay, I think I'm about 3 minutes after now. But let me quickly, in 2 minutes, let me round off on vanity publishing. That is the last one. This is another way of getting your work published without sweating. We call it vanity publishing or subsidy publishing. Now, what does it mean? I know a company, I don't want to mention the name. The company calls it cash and carry. Cash and carry. Now, you go there with your manuscripts. I'm talking of established companies, not a one-man company. You go there with a manuscript. Please, I need 1,000 copies. Okay. They give you the fee, the price. You are going to pay a certain amount of money per copy. So you agree. But the problem is with this is, most of the time, the money is usually exorbitant. I won't lie to you. But if you can afford it, why not? It saves you a lot of problems. Number one, you won't have any problem with ISBN. I'm sure everybody knows what ISBN is. Now, that's another major problem with self-publishing. This is not the forum to talk about Makola, but you will be surprised where people come from to go to Makola to publish their work, to print their work. You will be surprised. From all over Nigeria. I'm telling you, it's because we are here. We don't really know how important that place is. Very, very. Now, let me talk about the danger of, one of the dangers, of course, of taking your manuscript to Makola there to self-publish. Number one printer told me, frankly, that there is one person there. They go to him. He is the one who is in charge of ISBN. He is the manager of ISBN. So if you take your work to somebody there, that one will go to him. Oga, I need the ISBN. And he will get one for you. Now, if that one is not around, they will just fabricate anything for you. They do it a lot. I'm telling you. What the ISBN you get there, most of the time, they are fake. You can believe that. You can believe that. But when you want, if you decide on vanity publishing, you won't have any problem with ISBN. Now, and if it is a recognized company, they will use the name. You can use their name to sell your book. That UPL will publish me now. I mean, you can see now. So it has many advantages but you can also, in fact, you can negotiate with them if they can market the thing for you. But again, it has to be on money basis. They will tell you the percentage that they will collect. I think Akinyemi is standing on my neck now. So maybe I should just stop here. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, sir. It was wow. I didn't. Let's just open the floor for questions. So once you entertain questions now. Questions. You guys want to publish your book. You don't know how to do it. I think
It's right.
okay. 1, 2. Any other question? Okay, 3, 4. Now, this okay, 5. Yes, let me start from you.
Thank you very much, sir. My question is that when you started, you talked about someone wanting to discuss, and it happens among your writer, he self-doubt, like, am I a good writer? Do I write something that people will love? So in that, in getting published, what kind of validity can someone have that will give him the confidence of going for publishing? Do you take it?
Can you
Please, before
You step out. I mean, there are some certain self-doubts in most writers, particularly
Okay.
young writer without experience.
okay?
Most of the time, they hold their work. They don't want rejection. They don't want people to criticize their work. So I'm asking, what kind of validity can someone have? What kind of confidence can someone have
Assurance.
to the assurance to go for publishing?
Well, if you want an assurance before you take your work to a publisher, you might never get it. Number one, you have to know something. That's another reason why many people prefer self-publishing. You'll be surprised that, number one, the fact that a company rejects your work doesn't mean that it is not good. Number one, they may have many reasons. Probably they don't want to accept, they've got too many stories. Not only in Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, it is on record that about 90% of stories that are submitted to publishers are rejected. Up to 90%. I'm talking of storybooks now. Up to 90% are rejected all over the world. And the reason, as I said, I mentioned the reason, and a reason, because everybody believes that there is no big deal in writing prose. That's the belief of many people. At the end of the day, they will end up writing trash. And what you have to understand is the publisher cannot just publish anything. Number one, they want to be able to make enough money, enough profit to plow back into the business and to offset the cost of production. If they know that what you are writing for them cannot provide this, they won't publish you. But if you want to wait until you have the assurance that, I've written something great, you might not have the assurance. But there are some things you can be doing. I mentioned one. If you are writing children's stories, give it to a child. Let the child assess the thing for you. He or she will be able to tell you that, okay. Now you now ask the person to compare this story and the one probably that they are reading in their school. By the time you get feedbacks like this, you will know that, yes, I think I've written something good. But you can't really get. Another thing is, even the publisher, the editors of many companies, they do make mistakes. You might have written something. That's why if you want to really get published by an established company, don't just give it to one company alone. Make many copies. Give to every company you can think about. Every company. It's like prayer. You can give to every company that you can reach. And you'll be surprised that at least one of them may call you. But don't wait until. Many people will have reasons why your manuscript is not good, more than why it is good.
Here's the next person.
Oluwaturi, thank you so much, sir, for the talk. I want to ask about faith ISBN. How can we identify faith ISBN? And if maybe you are